Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to once again another episode of NFL predictions. So today's going to be a short episode. I actually don't have a whole lot of time, but I am going to just go through the predictions as quick as possible. We're not going to have this edited or anything like that I usually do. It's been like that a few weeks now, except with the exception of last week, so I don't think it's a big deal. So real quick though, we'll start with the kickoff topic, and the trade deadline came and went without any action on the day of, but the day prior there was a huge trade that sent linebacker Jamie Collins of the Patriots and sent him to Cleveland to play for the Browns, and that was a big deal. I thought it was a big trade. And then, obviously, you have the variety of opinions that come out. The general consensus that I got was that, yeah, people were shocked about it as well. And what's been reported is that it came down to money. They couldn't pay him as much, and there's so many other, free agents that potentially they're going to have to deal with that. That they want to pay them over Jimmy Collins. Apparently, he's been freelancing on the field, which basically means that he is not going with like the initial plan, the plan on the field. He's just doing his own thing and making the best plays that he thinks, and not necessarily what the team as a whole thinks. So that there's been a variety of reasons why he was traded. But Cleveland's getting a good linebacker, and I think it's big for them because he's young and he's talented. So there's a lot of potential for him in Cleveland. Now, as for the Patriots and how this affects them, I don't think this harms them in any way. They're already the best team in the NFL, and I feel like, I could be wrong, but as far as what I've seen, they have a lot of depth at that linebacking position. They have a lot of good players at that point. So I don't think it's that big of a deal that they sent a player over there, especially if they are potentially having problems with him. Not saying it's a mind-boggling move. Like, sure, it's like it came out of left field because you wouldn't think a great team would be trading away a player to a bad team. It's usually the vice versa, but it happened. They got a draft pick out of it, and Browns got a good player out of it, so you can't really question it. My question to you guys though is, what if the trade? Oh, I apologize, Java. If the trade deadline was still a few days away and it didn't already pass, what trades would have liked to see? Because I forgot to talk about this last week because I got so caught up in the whole tie thing, which don't get me started on the Redskins Bengals thing. But yeah, so it's the Patriots. It's the Patriots and Browns that made the big trade with the trade deadline. But what other trades you wish happened? And now let's move on to the bye, which I actually forgot to set up as I'm recording this, but I don't have the time to do so. So the teams that are on bye this week are the Redskins, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Texans, the Bears, and one other team. I will look this up as we're talking. So Cardinals, they have been... They had a good streak for a little while. They showed that they could potentially, maybe dig themselves out of a hole, and then they lost the blowout to the Panthers, and it's not looking good for them. And it's disappointing because you expected this team to continue to be good, to continue to do well, and now it's not looking good for them, especially in hey, the NFC is wide open. We all know that. But I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that the Cardinals are now at 3-4-1, and they might not make it. And considering there's a lot of great teams that they still have to face, that they still have yet to face. I believe on the docket still. Unless I'm forgetting now. I don't think they've played the Falcons yet. They have to play the Falcons. They have to play the Vikings. And Those are two really tough opponents right out the gate. Um, it's a tough situation. I mean, if they lose those two and then win out, they still have to face the Seahawks again. Uh, so that could be that could potentially just be like an 8-7-1 record, which might be. No, it won't be. It won't be enough to make it to the playoffs. So unless they win one of those three games and probably even two, I don't see them being successful. By the way, the other team that I could not think of was the team that we're just talking about, the Patriots. Who, by the way, I mean, at this point, I'm not gonna stop watching the season, even though it's been kind of bad. It's gotten better. There's some good quality games this past week, and I think as we get closer to the playoffs, it'll get better. But I'm not gonna stop watching. But does it just feel like the Patriots are gonna end up winning this whole thing? Like it just feels like the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. Now, I of course I don't like seeing that happen because I like seeing other underdog type teams win it. But if they win it, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's especially considering it would be a great fu to Roger Goodell and everything that happened with that whole investigation, which was so weird, such a weird investigation. So Texans, you guys are just staring at a beach. I'm sorry. I usually looking at team logos. I'll go through this quick. Bears, they had the upset win yesterday, so maybe they might start building momentum. But I don't think a big win against the Vikings is going to kickstart their season, even though, I mean, it's a big deal, but I don't think it's going to be like, yes, now you guys are going to win 5 straight. I just don't see it happening. I think that maybe they're a better team than we initially thought. Maybe, because that defense is looking kind of good. So, I don't know. I guess you'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Redskins, Bengals, ended in a tie. I cannot believe that. But the Redskins show that I think they outplayed the Bengals, and I was hoping that they would actually get the win. But unfortunately, Dustin Hopkins screwed up the kick. Redskins are a team that I think is pretty complete. And they just need to get to that next level. They need to be able to beat the Cowboys, because they didn't beat the Cowboys last time, and they're the toughest team in the division. But they took care of the Giants, they took care of the Eagles early on, so they were in a good spot in the division. So we'll see what happens with them. Bengals, rough start. Only have 2 wins on the season, 3 wins on the season. So they're average. But that's not what we all expected them to be at. So I think it's a shame. And I don't know how they're gonna climb out of the hole, but we'll see what happens. I just think the Steelers and the Ravens are the better teams in that division right now. Compared to the Bengals, but they have a shot still. The Bengals still have a shot, and then the Texans, they're coming off of they won right? They won against the Lions, yeah. Forgot. Yeah. So the Texans won over the Lions, and it was not really that close. Well, I guess closer to the end it was, but the Texans came out on top of that game. So they're looking good right now. They're on top of the division, but their biggest challenger right now is the Tennessee Titans. We'll get into that a little bit later. All right, enough staring at a blank beach. Apologize about that again. Here's my record. If you imagine 2 ties attached to that, 73 wins, 46 losses thus far this season, I think it's actually a pretty good record. I forget where exactly I was at this point last year. I will double check for maybe next time. We'll do like a comparison. But yeah, so far, we're doing really, really well. So let's get into week 9. And so now 16 teams have already played their 8 games, and 16 teams are about to play their officially their 8th game of the season. So by the end of next week, we'll have everyone past the halfway point of the season. So it's exciting. We'll start off with the NBC edition of Thursday Night Football. Won't actually be on NBC except for in local markets. It will be on NFL Network. Atlanta Falcons against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this was I was looking forward to this rivalry at the beginning of the year. Buccaneers pulled out the victory against the Falcons. This time I don't see the same thing happening. Falcons are right now the much better team, top to bottom. Falcons will win. Lions at Vikings. Vikings are on a 2-game losing streak after winning 5 straight to start the season. This could end up being like the Falcons of last year, or they can pick themselves up and end up winning this game. I think they're going to do that. Vikings win. Eagles and Giants, tough game, toss-up in my opinion. But if there's one team that has been playing better, then I just think that between these two teams, Giants haven't really been playing quality football, even though they've had some pretty good wins. I'm taking the Eagles in this one. Jets and Dolphins. If anyone thinks picking the Jets is a good idea, you're solely mistaken. Dolphins are on a hot streak right now. They're playing pretty great football coming off of a bye. Dolphins win. Jaguars at Chiefs. If the Jaguars won last Thursday and they won in a good fashion, I might have considered picking them against this really good Chiefs team. There's no way I'm doing that now. Chiefs win. Cowboys against the Browns. The debut of Jamie Collins as a Cleveland Brown potentially. But will that be enough to slow down this high-powered Cowboys offense? I don't believe it will. I have a feeling the Browns are not going to go 0-16, but it's starting to look like this season's just going to be a lot more brutal than a lot of us thought. And when we say what we thought was probably, 5-11, 4-12. So that's kind of rough. Cowboys win. Steelers at Ravens. Both teams coming off a bye. Is one of my favorite rivalries in the NFL between these two teams. You never know who's going to win, and no matter who starts at quarterback for the Steelers, I say the Ravens are going to pull up the upset. Saints at 49ers. Two teams. Well, actually, you know what? At Saints, they beat the Panthers and they beat the Seahawks. Now in back-to-back weeks. I think there was something in between there. I forget if they were on bye or what, but they beat some decent teams. I can't call the Panthers decent right now. Whatever. Sorry. The Saints are going to win this because the 49ers are just really bad. Sorry. Panthers at 49ers. Rams, sorry. Panthers, they're coming off a big win against the Cardinals. And I just said that I can't really call the Panthers good, but maybe I can. Maybe if they could get this win and start building up momentum, start a hot streak of wins, like they did last year, maybe the Panthers can pull it out. Panthers win. All right, Colts at the Packers. Right now, this could be a great quarterback battle for sure. It could be a high-scoring game. Aaron Rodgers looks back and better than ever. Colts, I gotta say, Andrew Luck continues to play well, but not any of the other teams, anyone else on the team really. So I'm gonna go with the Packers. Titans at Chargers. This one's a toss-up to me, just considering how well the Titans played last Thursday. I know it's against the Jaguars, but they are 4-4. They've already beaten their win total from 2015. So I just feel like I really want to give this team credit, the Titans credit. and that they could potentially win this game. With that being said, though, the Chargers have been the ones they've been in every single game they've played, in their wins and their losses. So I really think the Chargers are going to take care of the Titans, but it'll be a close one. Sunday Night Football, Broncos at the Raiders. I think this is the first Raiders primetime game in a while since, I think their only primetime game last year was the Thursday Night Football game. So it's good that they are on the premier, I guess, football program. And I think that they're going to pull the upset against the reigning Super Bowl champs. Raiders win. I have no basis for that. I think it will be interesting to see if a really great offense can destroy a really good defense. And finally, Bills at Seahawks, the day before the election and potentially the end of America. The Bills are looking right now at after coming off of two bad losses against the Dolphins team and the Patriots team, which, to be fair, the Dolphins have been playing pretty alright the past few weeks. Well, not counting last week because they were on bye, but anyways, they beat the Steelers and then they beat the Bills. So, and the Bills, they're pretty all-around decent football team, but this defense has not been able to stop any high-powered offense. Luckily, this time the Seahawks are not as high-powered as they usually are because of Russell Wilson's injuries. With that being said, though, I can't pick against the Seahawks at home in this kind of matchup. I'm going to go with them to win it, but I will not be surprised if it's close. And that is it for the predictions tonight, guys. Short episode, but I had to make it quick. So let me know about what kind of trades you would have wanted to see today. And stay tuned if you're watching this immediately when it's uploaded. About 3 hours from now, special video for ManicManiac Gaming will be coming out at 6 o'clock tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.